Hey guys, how you doing today?
Hey, what's up, Dustin?
Hey, Dustin.
It's great to be speaking with you. Thank you so much.
Same here, man.
Welcome.
Well, tell us a bit about the band, Altitudes and Attitude. What are the listeners in for?
Some rock music. If you go to YouTube, you can see the video with our single "Late." There's another song out there called "Out There." Dave and I got together, wrote some fun songs, having some rock songs, and people seem to be digging it right now. So yeah, we're pretty excited about what's going on, the reaction.
Awesome, yeah, stuff sounds great, and of course, Anthrax and Megadeth have had a long history together. But what led you guys to form the band?
Frank and I were, when we were doing the Big Four, which was Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and Anthrax, back in 2010 and 11, I think, is when we were doing that. Frank and I got asked to do some clinics in some music stores in Europe, and one night in London, we'd been doing a few of these, and we're kind of using some Megadeth, Anthrax backing tracks, and I leaned over to Frank and said, we should really just write some backing tracks. I mean, we're bass players, we can write. And out of that, we started throwing some ideas back and forth at each other, just over email, just, okay, here's a couple ideas I have, and it was like, whoa, like, these are real songs. So, the intention for this to be a bass clinic, turning it into an actual rock record that, talking to you today and playing our songs on the radio, it really took on a life of its own and a sound of its own.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the new album, Get It Out, is out on Megaforce Records. You guys even have Ace Frehley playing guitar on this one.
We do. I know, kind of a childhood fan moment for us.
We're pretty excited about that.
Well, Altitudes and Attitudes, I know you guys had an EP out a while back. Are you guys writing and recording just during your downtime from your other bands, maybe just kind of waiting for the right time to release it?
Exactly. You hit it on the head pretty much. When we had time off from touring, Dave and I got together with Jay Rustin, went to the studio, banged out some songs, and it's just when we had time. We were going to release it last year. It wasn't enough time. We just got really busy. So I'm glad it all worked out this way. I think it's all meant to be for a reason, because the reaction we're getting right now is pretty unbelievable, and we're really stoked.
Well, is there like an effort for you guys to not sound like your respective bands? And I guess on the other side of that, is there any concern that maybe some of the fans might not dig it if you stray too far from what they're used to?
To be honest with you, the whole thing was effortless. When we first did that EP, I actually picked Frank up. He came through town on an Anthrax tour, and I picked him up, came over to the house. We sat in the living room with our acoustic guitars and ran through some ideas and sent them over to our producer, Jay, and we just immediately narrowed down 3 songs, scheduled some time, went to L.A., knocked them out. Jeff Friedel from A Perfect Circle played drums for us. And bang, a band was formed just really out of that. And from there, we would get together and I don't know, probably about 5 or 6 writing sessions total. We, got us all these songs. We would get together, bring in usually 3 songs every time, and just kind of, repeat the process. This thing has a life of its own, and we just sort of respect that, and we leave it at that. There was really no conscious decision or effort to make it be anything. It is what it is, and I think that's kind of the beauty of everything that we've done with this so far.
Yeah, and as far as the fans, just the reaction we've been getting from metal fans, rock fans, all of the above, it's been such a great reaction. I mean, how many views?
Yeah, only a couple of days we got over 100,000 views on the video, and as Frank and I have been talking to people around the world, everywhere from Argentina to Tokyo to Mexico City, Europe, here of course across America today on radio. The response has really been unanimous, and that's something you can't predict. That you can't force it, and I think what they're hearing on this record is they're just hearing 2 genuine souls coming together, and me and Frank, and just putting these tunes down. And it's, it's funny. I hate to say it. It kind of sounds age appropriate, when we were starting our bands, the beginning of thrash metal was this very aggressive, rowdy kind of punk rock meets heavy metal thing. And, we were young bucks, and that's, that kind of the skater mentality and that whole thing. And that's, that's who we were then. But I think, to hear what he and I are doing now, with A&A it sits well with your soul.
Yeah, and for you guys being part of such huge bands for so many years, it must be great to kind of venture out and maybe try something new that maybe wouldn't fit in the other bands.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a release, and hence the title, "Get It Out." Having this stuff inside of us all these years, it's nice to have a way to express it, and that's where we're at right now. And it's great to connect with people from people that have heard the records and record and the songs. They're connecting with it. They find pieces of it that they connect with in their life. So I'm really happy to see that. I'm happy that people are giving it a chance and digging it.
And again, Altitudes and Attitudes, the new Get It Out record out now on Megaforce Records. So how long are you guys able to kind of sit back and, take a breather and enjoy it all before you got to go back to work with the other bands?
We've got about 2 months here where we're really just, ramping this thing up and firing it out there. And it's funny. It's cathartic even doing what we're doing. I mean, we're just on a whirlwind schedule and quite honestly, world tour. East Coast, West Coast. We're doing a cruise next week out in the Caribbean. We're going over to Europe to do dates with Slash, and now the phone, of course, is ringing for us to go everywhere around the world, which is awesome. When something is a labor of love like this, and we have fun playing the songs, live as well as doing the recording, it's something we really, really look forward to doing. So we're very, very thankful. Great way to fire off the new year here.
Well, and David, I know you've got the coffee business going on as well. So, I mean, that sounds like that's going pretty well for you.
Well, that's why we're able to do all this. We drink a ton of coffee.
Well, and Frank, this is off subject, but I got to ask you, your memories of being on Married with Children, one of the all-time great TV moments.
It was great. Everybody says that. And you know what? A friend just called me the other day and about how much he liked this one scene that when what's her name was filling me up. And I always thought that was funny because we rehearsed that quite a lot, and it was fun. And now I know that it got seen again, so I get another 32-cent check, which is awesome after all these years.
Getting felt up, you get 32 cents.
It was a great experience.
Cheap date.
It was a total cheap date. It was a great experience, and they were all brilliant, beautiful people.
Awesome. Well, again, the new album, Get It Out, Altitudes and Attitude, it sounds great. I'm looking forward to maybe seeing you guys do some more down the road, and thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for your support, Dustin. See you, man.
Bye-bye.